Savannah Chrisley goes off on Mom Julie's prosecutor. Savannah Chrisley, along with her brother Chase and the family's attorney Alex Little, addressed cameras outside the courthouse on Wednesday following Julie Chrisley's resentencing hearing. In her statement, Savannah alleged that the prosecution was uneducated. The family is going to continue to try and fight the court in regard to her parents' sentences. Here is what she had to say. Chrisley's family attorney incredibly disappointed. For his part, the Chrisley family's attorney Alex Little said that they were incredibly disappointed in the court's decision. A judge chose to uphold Julie Chrisley's original 7-year sentence, stating that it was sufficient for the crimes committed. The family's attorney went on to explain the situation to reporters outside. Julie's sentence was vacated in June due to insufficient evidence. However, Alex Little exclaimed that the court didn't give her a day of credit. When you talk about the public confidence in the court, it is a concerning result, he said. We're also incredibly disappointed in the personal attacks on family members. That's just uncalled for. We're evaluating our options on how to move forward and appreciate everybody's support. One reporter asked about what personal attacks he was referring to. Savannah Chrisley piped up, stating that she was looking right at me. Alex Little said that there were inferences made that Chloe Chrisley, who is in Savannah's care, is not being treated well and being lied to. I've never seen a judge attack family members in a courtroom like that, he said. Savannah interjected, to say that it is for TV ratings or podcast ratings is laughable because both of my parents are sitting in federal prison. So this has nothing to do with ratings. The Chrisley Knows Best star also questioned whether or not the judge had done her homework. Apparently, she alleged that Savannah was spouting lies online, and Savannah asked what steps she had taken to verify the claims she made. She went on a bit of a rant about how she's been looking into the conditions in the prisons in the United States. Savannah Chrisley says prosecution is uneducated. Then a reporter asked her if she felt like the judge was preaching to her during the resentencing hearing. Yeah, she was looking directly at me, Savannah said with a smug smile as Alex Little could be heard saying that was, objectively, what was happening. He continued, stating that there was nothing wrong with telling Chloe and Grayson that Julie Chrisley could be coming home sooner. As a member of the public, the attorney says, the court's decision simply doesn't pass the smell test. Addressing Savannah Chrisley again, one reporter asked if she felt like there was an injustice. She said, absolutely, and went on to say it was clear that the prosecution was uneducated. Then she reiterated that she would continue to fight for her parents and be as long as I can possibly be. Fans took to Reddit to discuss Savannah's reaction to her mom's resentencing. One person wrote, "Sassy is mad," calling the prosecutor uneducated. Others chimed in with their thoughts in the comments. "She's the uneducated one person wrote. Another person commented, she said she would be appealing the sentence again. Julie was sentenced well below the guidelines. The focus needs to be on serving the rest of her sentence and trying to get early release based on good behavior." A third Reddit user said, "Wow, she is so delusional." Savannah Chrisley mentioned during her discussion with reporters that she fully intends to continue to pursue the appeals process until her parents are home. Savannah Chrisley had always been the fiery, outspoken member of the Chrisley family, known for her sharp wit and unwavering loyalty. So when her mother, Julie Chrisley, was sentenced to federal prison, Savannah's fury toward the prosecutor was immediate and fierce. For months, she had held back, keeping her emotions in check as the legal system played out its cold, methodical process. But now, after months of her mother sitting behind bars and her family's life turned upside down, Savannah had finally had enough. The tension had been building for a while. Every family dinner, every tearful phone call with her mother, and every sleepless night thinking about her father, Todd Chrisley, had ignited a flame in Savannah that was impossible to extinguish. And now the flame was ready to erupt into a blazing inferno aimed directly at the prosecutor who had, in her eyes, unjustly targeted her family. Savannah took to social media to vent her frustration, her fingers trembling with anger as she typed her thoughts, unfiltered and raw. Her audience, already familiar with the Chrisley's legal battles, had no idea what was about to hit them. "I've kept my mouth shut long enough," her message began, the tone already brimming with palpable frustration. "But I'm done staying quiet while my family suffers for something they didn't do. It's time the world knows the truth about the prosecutor who was so eager to put my mom behind bars." Savannah continued, her words turning sharp as she described the prosecutor, painting him as a self-serving figure more concerned with career advancement than justice. She accused him of being ruthless, disregarding the truth in favor of painting a picture of her parents as criminals. To her, this prosecutor had built his case on lies and manipulation, creating a narrative that fit the image of greed and deceit that the media had feasted on. "What kind of person ruins lives just to get a win in court?" she wrote, her frustration boiling over. "My mom is the kindest, most loving person I know, and she's sitting in a prison cell because this man wanted to make a name for himself. And you know what? He's probably sleeping just fine at night while we're over here, devastated, trying to figure out how to keep our family together." The comment section began to light up with support from fans who had long sympathized with the Chrisley family. But Savannah wasn't done. She dove deeper into the details of her mother's case, shedding light on moments that, in her opinion, showed just how far the prosecutor had gone to secure a conviction. "There were so many things that just didn't add up," she continued. "He twisted every little thing to make it look like my parents were criminals. He knew how much people love to tear down a successful family, so he fed into that narrative. He knew the media would take the bait, and that's exactly what happened. My mom's been painted as this cold, calculating person when the truth is she's one of the most honest people I've ever known." Savannah's words grew more intense as she talked about the emotional toll the case had taken on her family, especially her younger siblings who still struggled to understand why their parents were gone. "Do you know what it's like to try and explain to a child why their mom and dad aren't coming home for Christmas? Or why they can't call them whenever they need a hug? It's heartbreaking and it's wrong. And I lay the blame for that directly at the feet of that prosecutor." For Savannah, this fight was personal. It wasn't just about the legal system or the charges against her parents. It was about the people who had chosen to destroy her family. She didn't mince words as she accused the prosecutor of playing dirty, of making deals and cutting corners to ensure a conviction. She claimed that key evidence had been ignored, and witnesses who could have helped clear her parents' names were never called to the stand. "There were people who were willing to testify on my mom's behalf, but they were never given the chance," she alleged. Why? Because their testimony didn't fit the story the prosecutor wanted to tell. He wasn't interested in the truth. He was interested in winning. Savannah's post continued to spiral into a full-blown takedown of the legal system, calling it corrupt and broken. She talked about how her family had been made into public enemies, their every move scrutinized and criticized, while the prosecutor sat back and watched the spectacle unfold. "He doesn't care about what he's done to us. He's off chasing his next big case, looking for his next victim, while we're left to pick up the pieces of our lives. But I'm not going to stay quiet anymore. I'm going to fight for my mom. I'm going to make sure people know what really happened. And I'm going to make sure that prosecutor knows we aren't going away quietly."